Greetings, Raxbash here with another vague comic review. And this one is an even vague title. It is called Rust by Steve Miller and published by Adventure Comics. And this comic is an odd one. It's a story about a police officer named Steve Miller who tried to go after, I believe, a serial killer in a laboratory. There was an explosion, and the police officer, I guess, got pushed out of the wall or exploded out of the wall, fell down a little hill, and collapsed face down in a puddle of rust-colored water. And then and this was in a junkyard. He found a junkyard, and parts of machinery and metal, just like a magnet, started forming on top of him. And the entire time, the owner of the junkyard, an old man, sees this happening, sits down, and watches it, which is odd. But the panel and his dialogue, as vague as it is supposed to tell the reader that he has an idea what's happening. Anyway, the next day, some people come by, police officers or FBI agents. I believe it's the FBI. That's how, anyway. And they ask the old man some questions. He answers. They sign him a check and tell him to, more or less, don't give out details about what exactly happened. And then I'm assuming, well, they're testing out the pile of metal for toxics and everything. And they tell the old man that even though they're going to try to take it out, it's still going to be poisonous. And then they just leave. Why they don't come back with the truck, a waste management truck or just a giant truck that handles this stuff and pick up the pile of metal and take it away, I do not know. But they leave the pile of toxic metal where it is and then go away. No quarantine zones, no nothing. And let the old man stay there with the toxic fumes. The news people come by, I believe, either the next day or the same day. They question the old man. He gives them vague statements. They leave, and the old man sits and watches the pile again. And a couple of times there are flashbacks of Steve Miller growing up. And I really don't know how they fit into the story, except when something happens and someone asks Steve what to do, he just says, I don't know. That's it. Anyway, Steve finally comes out of the pile of metal, and he has fused with the parts. So he is literally a walking, talking pile of junk. And at first he's startled. He thinks the stuff is sticking to him. So he tries to rip it off, and then green blood comes out. And when the old man tries to put the blood out with water, it burns. So the old man realizes, okay, metal will probably work. He slaps it on Steve's arm, and yeah, that's it. So apparently, because of the chemicals that were in that lab, they messed up They messed up Steve's body, and now his body eats metal. So apparently, it's kind of like the Thing in Fantastic Four. His body's made of rock, but Steve's is made of rust. And yeah, anyway, Steve leaves the junkyard because he's in denial about what's happening. He tries to go see his wife, and his partner is there, his police partner, and Steve finds him kissing through the window. And he's upset and leaves, but then the moment he leaves, you're supposed to realize that the partner and the wife, they're actually not together. They kissed because they were so upset by Steve's passing. It was more like an emotional comfort kiss. Kind of weird, but that happened. But they make it clear that neither of them are in love with each other. They just care about each other, and they're both mourning for Steve. Okay, this scene was kind of funny. Steve goes into an abandoned convenience mart in broad daylight, which for some reason there's no one inside, bends I guess it's a metal door, bends it, pulls it off, gets inside, steals some food, some cigarettes, and then thinks, well, he has to put the door back. He didn't want to just leave it like that. And I guess he has metal bending powers because he just puts the metal door back, straightens it out, and it's brand new. So, okay. And then Steve wanders around. He becomes depressed because it's raining and goes back to the old man. And that's it. And this comic was not that good. I respect. Huh. You know, I'm starting to think I got the guy's name wrong. I think the main character's name is Scott, not Steve. Steve Miller is the creator of this comic. Wow, that is how little I care about this comic. Ugh. I mean, the guy tried. This is a remake of the original Rust that came out in 1980s. But this version is supposed to be different. And it did not work out. I mean, the art's okay, but 3 times I've seen the artist or the penciler use the same exact image. The same building design, the same exact layout, except maybe the stars were a different color. The old man sitting down waiting for Steve to come out of the metal pile. Same exact image, just shaded. One daylight, one noon, and one at night. When the FBI come to talk to the old man at the junkyard, and then they leave, and then when the news people come to talk to the old man, same exact poses. The old man's in the same spot. The news people are in the same spot. Oh my God, it was awful. I was trying. It was hard not to see. And it's not good. Think of The Thing, but he's made of rust, and just thinking about it makes me feel, ugh. I feel like I can't eat reading a comic like this. Rusty metal and bloods of rust. The guy's walking, talking, toxic. The FBI people who even came said this, and yet the old man lets the man, Scott, get up and walk around town. Wouldn't he be, I don't know, spreading out those noxious fumes all over, getting everyone sick? I assume he should, but they don't mention that. I will say there is this one amazing image when when Scott is smoking a cigarette in the rain. The dialogue that's present, a very, very good image. It just expresses the loneliness and isolation he feels as he stands there smoking in the rain and shadowed. But that's it. That's the only compliment I can give to this comic. It was not that good, and I am not going to return for the long haul. If a comic does not interest me in the first issue, then it won't interest me in the next issues. So, yeah, if anyone's heard of this weird comic, I'm interested. Did you find it okay? But I honestly don't. Thank you for listening to this vague review and to my voice. The rest of you, have a good day. Thank you.